This your feeling source of boxing news, giving you exclusive interviews with less born interludes. It's Skywalker, fly talker, and a fire sparker, giving you the news straight, not a side talker. Daily boxing updates with live fight streams, gym visits, sneak peeks from behind the scenes. Plus we link with more boxing and they spitting toxin. Strong like a pack of oxen, ain't no other option. He got a new addition, Poppy from Yayo. Heavy on the Poppy, Legato on the Yayo. Ernest X, a retired military vet. He a comedian, so don't be disobedient. With 86 boxing from out of DC. That's the valedictorian historian. He's still pushing Tim and Tim when the week begins. The super chats and cash apps collect the dividends. The live interesting, yo, I hope you listening. It's not a trick, Tim Jr. running for politics. Skywalker washing windows off a skyscraper. The mother channels, they sweet like annihilators. You get physically exposed if you violate us. You guys fool get chewed like Crocs and Gators. It's no reason to explain why you cowards hate us. Skywalker boxing media preceding you. Trust me, I understand why you cowards hate us. Leading you is Skywalker boxing media. Trust me, I understand why you cowards hate us. Leading you is Skywalker boxing media. Yeah. Skywalker boxing media. Saludos. Word 'em up. Yeah. This your feeling source of boxing news, giving you exclusive interviews with...
Sorry about that. Salute. Welcome to Skywalker Boxing Media. Team Mo Boxing, no problem. We got Poppy Chunyayo in the house.
Yeah, y'all already know what it is. It's Poppy Chunyayo. Heavy on the Poppy, light on the Yayo. What's cracking?
Man, we got a special show today, man. We got my brother, man, the legend, Zimbalist, the Cub Satcher. How you doing, my brother?
Blessed and grateful, thankful to be with you guys today. First and foremost, I like to say something like I thank you for guys rescheduling me and everything like that. I had something going on, and the gentleman who we were talking about for the reason of the rescheduling, he did pass along today at 11 a.m. So I just want to keep him in mind. His name is Virgil Red Bridges. He was a supporter of boxing as well. It's one of his favorite sports, but I just wanted to pass that along.
Hey, rest in peace, man. Rest in power to him, and condolences.
Thank you, guys. That means a lot.
Hey, so I met you, man. You're in town. It's the Crow and the Cub Boxing Club. You got a stable of fighters. Your son is one of the fighters. We got Zimmy, which is Junior. And a lot of the things that he's learned as a coach, Papi Chunyayo, comes from Joe Louis Murphy, the Crow. And can you tell us about how you got started in boxing, Zim?
Oh, yes. Well, I've always been into fighting, just like most boxers are. I started out with martial arts, learning from my brother and my cousin. We're from Alamogordo, New Mexico. They study at the New Mexico Taekwondo Federation under Darren White. As I got older and into my teens, I got into Kung Fu with Ho Young Pak. He played Donatello on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And his brother, who looks like his twin, they have the same facial features, of course, look very resembling and things like that. He played Ho Young Pak. His name's Ho Young Pak, and he played Liu Kang on the first Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat
Oh, wow.
2 video game and stuff. So this was on San Mateo and stuff. It was Ho Young Pak's National Martial Arts Academy. I was there and I had studied Kung Fu. This was in my teenage years. After I went to Desert Storm, enlisted in the Navy and things like that, came back, I was pursuing basketball for a little bit. It didn't go my way. A lot of things happened during that time. My parents had got divorced and stuff. My life was really up and down. I was looking for closure. I was looking for space. Then came Joe. So this was probably the mid-1990s. I met him at Jock Candelaria Community Center. I've been at that center as long as, if you know Manuel Anaya, when I started out there with him, he was actually a janitor at the facility, and I was looking for a trainer. So I started off with Marty Garcia taking me down to the gym because I said, look, this martial arts stuff, it doesn't work. I need to learn how to fight in the pocket. I need to fight for real and learn how to defend myself. So we go to the gym. He introduced me to Gil Candelaria, and that's the brother of Jack Candelaria, who the gym's named after. I've been under a lot of different trainers as far as with him. I was with him, and then I was with actually Lorenzo Brown, from Lorenzo Brown to Henry Anaya, Steve Garcia to Jose Luis Chavez, and then finally Joe Louis Murphy. When I got with Joe Louis
Hey,
Murphy,
can
he
you tell
was
everybody first before because we brought up Joe Louis Murphy? Can you tell everybody who Joe Louis Murphy is?
Joe Louis Murphy, in my opinion, is the godfather of New Mexico boxing because of his age, first and foremost, and how long he had been doing it. He had been training myself and other fighters all the way till he was 83 years old. Crazy about the story, when I was training with him, he had a stroke. We actually seen him flatline 12 times, like a darn championship fight. And then I personally seen him survive and live a successful life 20 years after the fact. So once I seen that someone can endure and go through something like that, he had my complete trust. He was sharp as a tack. He's helped out so many people, from Bobby Foster to notable names like Johnny Tapia, Tommy Cordova, so many others in the community here in New Mexico and then worldwide in the game as well. He was definitely a legend of the sport. As a amateur in the old gym, it said he had 497 fights by the time he was 18. So he was very active. He
And he
was
was named after Joe Louis, correct?
after Joe Louis himself. So during the golden age of boxing and stuff. So he had more fights just because of the name. And in that time, outside of his boxing training in itself.
Man, that's awesome. Salute to you first of all. Skywalker and myself, we're both veterans as well. So, thank you for the service, and then thank you for this other service that you've been doing. I wanted to ask you about some of the mixed martial arts experience you have. Do you actually incorporate some of the techniques that you've learned from the other mixed martial arts discipline into the training that you do with boxers currently? Because I would think that would be it'd be a lot different than what a lot of other people are doing.
To be honest, I wouldn't say that I do, but now that you ask, I have different mannerisms that my Sifu passed along to me, whether it was drills and how you would like go about having them, placing them and stuff. Not necessarily the moves, because once I seen that from a distance and in close is two different ball games. I wouldn't do the whole martial arts thing, you know, unless, like I said, it was in a taekwondo type atmosphere, MMA type atmosphere. But the way how he groomed us, the way how he talked to us, yes, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, things like that, etiquette, how to handle yourself. Definitely, I took something from each and everybody that's ever touched me in combat sports as well as boxing. And what I would probably say a lot of these coaches could agree on is that even though we have our own style, we'll steal a page from another coach, from another fighter, and then make it our own. Whether it's exactly the same or we make it for our fighter or what implements us best.
Oh, okay. Well, see, what I was thinking about when I was hearing you saying all that kung fu stuff was that I'm thinking maybe you were a practitioner of Jeet Kune Do, because the inside game that they practice with that. I feel like if a boxer knew some of those things and how to deliver punches from at close distance, in short ranges and things like that, I was like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. I grew up personally as a kid watching kung fu on Saturday mornings.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
is that something that was that something that influenced you as well?
Oh, always. And see, for me, it wasn't even. It wouldn't even say when you say Saturday mornings, we're talking 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Wu Tang Clan, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Shaolin, you know what I'm saying? The masters, and that's the way how our teacher taught. You know what I'm saying? There was a hierarchy. and stuff. So like when one was gone, then the next would assume and stuff like that. We're a family. Uh, I could tell you that Tim's kids are amazing. They got talent and stuff. I'm already taking them on as my own, even though that I know they have other coaches, but they have talent, and I know that as a community, we all want the best for the kids and to help them.
Yeah.
But in my experience with the martial arts, it was more so of watching it than doing it, because I trained for maybe like a total of 6 years, never competed, and then when I got into an altercation with two of my friends, all of that was out the window.
Yeah.
Hey, Zim, tell them about the Crow and the Cub. What is that?
The Crow and the Cub Boxing Club, that those are the nicknames of my trainer, Joe Louis Murphy. They called him the Crow, amongst his other many aliases. And then he gave me the nickname the Cub, I want to say in 2011. He signed it on one of my gloves and everything like that. And what I could tell you, Poppy, when he signed that and gave me my name, in our discipline, that was when I earned my black belt in his eyes.
Oh,
It was the nickname branding.
right.
Yeah,
Because
you
they
got.
see you could be like the Bullet, the Jet, Ferocious, or whatever. But he really put thought and everything into my nickname, and I'm really proud of it now. So even more so that he's gone, the meaning of it.
Man, I'm glad we captured that, Skywalker, because we ask a lot of boxers, what's your nickname? Have you thought about it? And it just seems like maybe the culture around actually getting a nickname, maybe that discipline is missing from a lot of other gyms. I don't know. That's interesting.
So Joe Louis Murphy is a legend. The new gym that they just opened up, they renovated, spent all the millions. His picture's on the wall there, man. He's one of the legendary. He's in the New Mexico Hall of Fame.
Indeed.
He was Bob Foster's coach. You know what I'm saying? You guys know who Bob Foster is.
Thanks to Louis Burke as well too, because he made sure that happened before Joe left this earth. And so Louis, Rocky, the whole state of New Mexico, we're a fight state. And so just like anything we can do to put these fighters out and then to pay homage to the past, bring these new ones up in the way, that's what we're all about.
Yeah. So a lot of that knowledge, man, it's kind of like how you're talking about martial arts. It's passed on, in a sense, like how he earned his black belt. Like he was saying, and their training is little deeper than most coaches here in Albuquerque that I've known, just because it's something that we've talked about. Trainers passing on that knowledge, right? And that's what Joe Louis Murphy did with Zim. So
So
it's a real special thing.
so I want to make sure I understand this right. So, if I understand this right, do you guys have a tradition that you trace back to a certain point of the way that you train? Is that something that's been passed down by word of mouth?
I'm not, well, I can't really say that that's the thing, but it's the time that we spend, because we pretty much talk about the lines of our training is more of a lifestyle. So people come in and out. You're never going to have that consistent guy all the time. Things come up and stuff like that. As you go, as they improve, we can see who's serious on either competing or
Yeah.
just using it as self-defense. Either way, we're going to give it, he would always say slow and steady wins the race. And we're worried about the longevity of the people and the students that we're helping. We're not trying to go out there and get everyone in a fight right away. And it's with the trained eye that we see when we let certain people go and when they do compete. If that is to answer your question, I can't. But now that you brought it up, I think I would like to, implement that here in the future, just so I could have a gauge from the start and improving on into the future on each and every student. And then it kind of like it would make it very interesting and stuff. We'd have like a big old animal kingdom or something at that point.
I got a good question for you, Zim.
Yes, sir.
What is the most important piece of wisdom that Joe passed on to you that you apply in your coaching?
Love, the secret ingredient, love. Because it's not a tough love, it's an actual nurturing love. Like, if you don't know, you don't know, and that's okay. Ask questions. If I can't tell you the answer to the question you're asking, nor give you the information to get the answer you're asking, well, then you have every right to second guess me as being your trainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people in the game, they have backgrounds that are either from the streets or either they're entitled, but the game of boxing is real in general. And so we take it very serious that we don't get anyone hurt. And like I said,
Yeah.
teach everyone and, and think of them as family
Okay.
because like I said, it's a hard sport. It's not for everybody. We do it for the boxing therapy and the fellowship of just learning to harness emotions and just, work out
Yeah.
together. But
Hey, Zim,
it's good to have competitors.
I'm gonna take you back to 2011 or 2010 when you're there with Joe Louis Murphy. What's a normal day of training routine that you guys just give me an idea of what a day with Joe Louis Murphy was like?
Well, a day with Joe Louis
How
Murphy
would it
was
start? How would it finish?
yes, sir. A day is you're up at 3 a.m. and you're doing road work. You come in from the road work. After the road work, you're doing a light calisthenic, eating a light breakfast. After you have a light breakfast, you read a book or you watch a show. By that time, from all that time that elapsed, at that time it's 7 p.m. If it's 7 p.m., then you're at the gym. You're doing all your technical work, anything that he has you working on of that sort, pads, mitts, heavy bag, speed bag. After we do that, um, we would go ahead and have actual breakfast. After actual breakfast, he would take me out because he had another property out in the South Valley on Riverside, and he had me busting up concrete, digging ditches, stuff like that, getting that place ready for another gym that he was about to make. Like that would have been his second or third gym that he had in his lifetime. So we do that. We get back to the gym at 2 or 3, and if it was a Tuesday or Thursday, then you're sparring. If not, it's just your second session, and it's actually more work in the gym. So after you get more work in the gym or light contact or light movement, then we pretty much he would let me play basketball in the evenings. I played everywhere from the local gyms from to Johnson Gym for UNM, so Los Padillas, Morales, Duranis, you name it, we were there. We were playing basketball. That was my second edition of running to compensate for my first edition of road work. Then I'd eat, go to sleep, and then start again.
So what you're telling me is that you guys are literally building a gym while you're working out and getting boxing knowledge. So your break is you actually physically building another gym. Man,
Exactly.
that's a lot of
Exactly.
that's a lot of love and dedication right there.
Exactly. And the sad part was that the gym never got finished because, his helmet's Corona and then him leaving so early. But there were other fighters that actually helped me out there. There was Ray Woods. He's a big wrestling coach now, and his son's doing a lot of good things. But, it was a different style of training compared to the training that these kids are doing now, if you know what I'm saying. Because, first of all, we were out in the sun. You know what I mean? So you're just like, what is really going on? It really took me back to his golden era of work when they were the really hard workers and they were blue collar workers that had second jobs to take care of their families, and it happened to be boxing as well.
Awesome. Hey Zim, I got a question from Jesus. Shout out to Jesus M. Shout out to Gray Fox. Shout out to the Bud Files. Everybody that's in the show, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got Zimbalist Satcher in the house. And did Joe watch any Ray Robinson, Ali, etc. live?
He always told me stories that he did. We never watched any or had a film study where we watched it together. He had actually showed me, I think, a couple of newspaper clippings
Was
from
he
that
was he
time.
involved with the Ali fight with Bob Foster?
I
Was
don't
he?
know if he was involved in that fight, but he was involved with Bob Foster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were like really tight. Like his stories with Bob Foster, he taught him how to box. He was the little guy on his bicycle. Bob Foster was the other guy on the handlebars as they were in the neighborhood running down ice cream trucks and stuff like that. They were best friends until a lot happened. That's not for me to tell. That's when his documentary comes out. But they were very close. Even Lorenzo Brown, may he rest in heaven, and stuff. Key figures that inspired me to box, helped me for a time, and like I said, just to even be mentioned in with their names, even with you guys are carrying on his legacy just by having this podcast.
Yeah.
And we
I have a
say
lot of,
we
yeah.
say we say thank you for that. That's just huge.
These are stories
And you
I've
know,
heard. I'm asking questions for the audience, for people. This is a historic show. We're live on 86 Boxing. Shout out to Josh Brewer. This is more his, this is a historical show. We're talking about a legendary trainer and his pupil right here, man. And he's continuing the tradition of his knowledge, his teachings. Can you show him your gym, Zim? Is there any way you can rotate your camera around to show everybody?
okay. Well,
So
as you
this is
see
in
right
honor of Joe
here,
Louis Murphy. Show him some Joe Louis Murphy stuff.
okay,
I'll make you full screen, okay?
yeah. Let me move this out of the way.
And talk about each photo if you like, man. Go ahead, show off your
Well,
museum.
like this is Bobby
Got a
Foster,
museum
and
here.
like we said, this is Bobby Foster, and you see how he has 14 title defenses.
Yeah, career
You see
record,
what I'm
total plus
saying?
65,
This picture
14
used to
defense.
be at Jack Candelaria as well. I gotta give love to Xavier
Oh,
Madrid,
shout out to X, man. Shout out to Xavier. That's a good
and
fighter
see,
that Zim works with right there, Ernest. You've seen Xavier. Remember in that last fight card that I went to, he got that knockout. We are playing that DMX.
Yep.
this is him. So what? These are pictures I need to show you guys. I'm trying to see how I get it in the frame best I can.
Right there is good. Yeah, you can see Joe Louis Murphy right there.
You see how he's holding the mitts, and that hand punching the mitts is little Zim. All right, Tim? But watch, the good crazy thing about that is right here on this photo for the Godfather. That's me. That's me, Joe holding the mitts for me. So it was just awesome to have him around long enough to do mitts with my son and teach him as well. And my son now helps me as an assistant coach and everything else like that.
There's Johnny Tapia, guys. You see Johnny? Show him Johnny.
Yes, John. Yeah, this is one of his
Tell
posters
us, tell
that
us
he
stories
that
about Johnny Tapia. You got any stories?
the stories I have about Johnny. Or I have a lot of stories about Johnny, but my stories about Johnny and Joe. Uh, Johnny was training Hector Muniz close here by my house for his fight at the Santa Ana Star Center. Okay, and I took my son down for the weigh-ins, and I went down with Joe. We get there. First of all, Johnny says, "Hey, is this the new chap?" My son was 6 years old. He starts, bobbing around, shadow boxing, and then he starts swinging on my son. I never hit my son or anything like that, right? So my son just shelled up at the time. And so, then all of a sudden, my son sees that Johnny's a good guy, and then he starts play fighting with him. Professor Rosales was there. Amongst other people, Hector Munoz. And so what was cool about it, Johnny goes to Joe. He said, "Joe, when are we ever going to fight?" Joe Murphy looks at him, Tim, and says, "They haven't made an arena big enough for us to fight in here yet." And everyone started cracking up. And that was just the coolest thing, just to see their camaraderie as student and teacher at a time. I don't know exactly the logistics and stuff like that of it, but I do know that they were with each other. I do know that Bobby's not Bobby, Johnny's wife, and then they spent time at Coach's Bingo and stuff back in the day when he was training and stuff, the 5 points and stuff like that. So it's all together, and it's a real small community here, but a caring one.
Man, we really need to capture some of the lessons and some of the the lessons learned that you guys have gotten over time, not just from boxing, but from actually building the gym, and from building people and making them disciplined and teaching them to have that thing. We really need to capture that on film, because you guys are walking encyclopedias,
Yeah.
and
Bless you.
people haven't had a chance to sit down. Like, we should be doing like this HBO special where we're sitting down 101 with a nice room decorated, and
Oh
capturing these
man.
stories to pass on, because once you guys go, that information goes with you. So
Yeah, and that's what I get mad about, because a lot of the history is raised from a lot of the great teachers. And me and my student, even Xavier, was saying the exact same thing that you were saying. He's like, Coach, you're an encyclopedia, and he had said that in one of his messages from some of the stuff that I taught him. There's nothing more gratifying than knowing that you're a blessing to someone, and they can teach someone else and be a blessing to someone else. And I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not trying to make it a type of way, but it's really just that authentic. If you could put yourself in someone's shoes and, just like you say, be patient, then you can go a long way in the sport, and then we could change the game if we're willing to listen to the person and not the paper.
man, Skywalker, you know what this is? This is Proverbs, bro. Like, I've heard at least three or four like wise informations that someone would be passed down to someone. I need to wait for some more of them. That's
This is like Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
For real.
crazy.
There you go, and see what. Here, let me show you guys again. Me and other students believe we were all his Daniel sons, but can you not say that is not Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really thought of him like that. And like I said, he showed me a lot of things. And for you, Papi Chino, just so you know, I didn't know how to do anything labor. I didn't know how. He showed me how to use a hoe. He showed me how to use a shovel. I thought with a hoe, I thought you pull it back towards you. I didn't know you go towards it. You got what I'm saying? Things like that. I didn't know how to swing a sledgehammer. You just work. I didn't know how to work. He taught me how to work. And then, you know what I mean? And even if it's just a little bit of work takes a little bit of discipline. A little bit of discipline takes a little bit more discipline. Discipline takes effort, but it's just a big circle.
Oh, hey, y'all! For all you Gen Zers out there, he's talking about a garden tool, an actual garden tool, not the other thing.
I forget.
These,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is different times.
yeah,
I was born in '72, dog. So amen to that.
we got to clarify it for him. Maybe like, oh, he out here talking about beating up women and stuff. You feel
Oh,
me? No, so are you currently training any professional boxers?
yes, I got a few. I got like we said, there's Xavier Madrid, had him. My son, Anais Maya, she's been with us for our inception. Coach Cohen Biggs, he's a track coach at Cleveland High School. I have my junior, Ankit Pandy. Uh, his father is the owner of the UPS store, Enchanted Hills. And then my two kids, Jarias Lovato and Elena. And Elena, they're both 8 years old. They're coming along nicely, and they're going to be something. So if I can get a hold of Joyce and Eric and Rolando, woo, my
They,
kids' team
they
is going
said
to be
that
for real.
they said that Joe Louis Murphy was a Vietnam combat veteran.
Air
He was,
Force,
huh? Yeah,
Air
Air
Force,
Force. Yeah, but he was in Vietnam. He was a Vietnam
yes sir.
combat vet in the Air Force. He was a nightclub owner, an actor, an insurance agent, a fighter, a referee, a trainer, a promoter, and a boxing judge.
Exactly. So like I got a little bit of it all. His club was the Mirror Lounge. He was a promoter as well. Yes, he was a boxing ref as well. He was a trainer and a boxer. So it's a little bit different when you're a box. For me, like I was his boxer, and then he trained me to be a coach. So that was two different. That was a different type of training as opposed to me being a boxer. He told me what to look for in his eyes and through his experience. And then at the same time, he put me in a position where I was more defensive minded than I had ever been because now you're holding mitts. Now you're calling out cadences for someone else's offense, and you got to counter your next move for their offense. So it really got interesting, but he knew when to do that. It was a little after his stroke. He couldn't hold the mitts anymore. He didn't want to, as he say, shake anything loose, and so he handed me the reins then. And a lot of the teammates at the time may not have liked it, but I've been with him the longest. We've been through everything together, and they're forever family. I just love them all.
So him handing you the mitts, would that be considered another one of those rituals?
Indeed, indeed. Because what I can tell you, Poppy, is he didn't train me. I didn't learn the left hook until I was 3 years in.
Oh.
He only had me throwing straight punches because I'm 6 feet and stuff like that. He got me down all the way to 135. I went up to as high as 175, but we doing mitts was a reward. You got what I'm saying? So everything we had to earn. So with me, I had to earn my gloves. You know what I mean? I had to earn my hand wraps, uh, things of that nature. You had to earn the right to do mitts. You had to earn for an extra round if you wanted more training because you were getting a good rhythm. Say like with the speed bag, you had to earn that through his eyes, and then he'd give that to you. So our time with him was definitely cherished.
Could you maybe explain because I heard you say earlier that you guys three a.m. you're hitting the road work, then you come in and you're doing some calisthenics and you have a light breakfast, right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
you said you guys got back to work and then you broke bricks and you did buildings and you read a book, and then by that time it was time to eat breakfast again. So I only heard two breakfasts. Is there something behind that?
Oh, no, no. It's just that he wanted me to have something to replace myself from the road work the road work was at 4 a.m. I was up at 3 a.m.
Ah, got it.
You got what I'm saying? I was
Yep.
up at 3 a.m. So it was just getting something into my system so I wouldn't be dehydrated or weak or, what I mean, just having something to replace what I just burnt out, keeping me warm, then having the second breakfast. It was an actual meal for the more concentrated, more intense workout we had at 7 a.m.
So I mean, with that sort of training plan, I would assume that you guys have never had trouble getting on weight. So like you wouldn't balloon up in between fights or anything like that, right?
No, like I said, he got me all the way down. I'm 6 feet, and when I came to him, I came to him at 180. He got me down to 135, and then I went back up. I was like, "What?" And this was without supplements and everything. Just telling me to replace sugary drinks with water. He would say the three B's: baked, boiled, or broiled. His old fashioned way of training. But me having the discipline to just trust him and do exactly what he said to see results. So there wasn't an issue of making weight ever or anything like that. It was just going up from there.
Hey, let me shout out some people coming in. Shout out to Trey Titan 176. Salute. We got Vince Reward Paras. He's a top 5 flyweight in the world. Soon to be getting a title shot pretty soon. Shout out to Vince. We sponsor him on the channel. Much love to Vince. Shout out to Veronica Brooks. She says, "Great job, nephew."
That's Tim. That's my aunt. She's a best-selling author. That's Dr. Veronica Brooks.
Oh, shout out to Dr. Veronica Brooks.
Papi Chino, the book's called The Warrior Within, brother.
And shout
Uh,
out to the voice, man. We got Just Do Boxing. You guys subscribe to Just Do. Got a great channel. Always cooking. Shout out to my brother. And so what's next, man? What's been going on with the current stable? Any fights coming up, Zim?
No. The thing with me is that I take care of my mother, as you know, and I
Yes.
will do anything and everything for her. She's on a road to recovery right now. She had some medical situations that we had to take care of, and we're going with that. Everybody, like I said, it's a family affair. They want to see her happy and recovered first. So once we get her back on, and everything is copacetic with her, then everyone will be we'll look and see what opportunities are out there. But right now, we're just training every day, learning every day, and then just trying to be better people every
Right.
day.
Hey man, shout out to Zim, man. He has been having to care for his mother, and he has been kind of ground. You know what I mean? He sticks around his to take care of her all the time. So my prayers are with you on that. Okay, my brother.
Oh,
Yeah,
bless you
but
guys.
definitely in some cultures, being a caregiver is that's just something that you do. Like we don't, some people don't put their parents nursing homes. They stay home until it's time to go home. So, uh, I want to ask you about Veronica. Veronica's she's an author. Has she
Yes, sir.
ever has she ever pressed you about getting a book of your own out to tell
That's
some of your
that.
tell your
That's
story?
all she talks about. That's all she talks about.
I'm going to encourage her to keep encouraging you to do that because, again, or we know we can get you back on here, and we
Hey,
can
can I
definitely
name drop Poppy Chun?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Her best, one of her good colleagues and best friends is Les Brown.
Okay,
yeah, she's still in the chat. Shout out to Veronica.
That's my auntie, and I
Drop
love
the
her.
drop the title of your books in the chat. We'll put
Oh,
them.
I already typed it. Oh, I typed one. I typed the Warrior Within now. So I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay, cool.
Are there any like I don't want to call are there any like herbal drinks that you guys have passed down that you take maybe during fight weeks or anything like that, stuff that come from cactuses? And because
No, I love it. I love it. No, we don't. But if for any of the local fighters here, I know Coach Aruba has that with Il Chino and stuff. You can look into him. He could definitely put you onto that type of game and stuff. Quality drinks that I'm hearing and stuff like that. We're old school, man. No sugary drinks, water, hot tea with lemon and honey. If we do sugar, sugar in the raw, not iodized sugar, just the old stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, that uh, I think Xavier and like Zim and stuff, they're good on like having people look into their diets for them. A good friend of ours, Kim Collins, she's a dietitian and stuff. She gives us heads up on what to eat and stuff. I need that kind of resource to help us forward in the future. So good looking, Poppy, but no, we just train boxing, brother. So everyone we feel has their specialty, and if, like I said, if I don't have it, I'll refer you to someone that I know who has it, and can point you down the right road because I just want to keep you moving.
Yeah, I gotta show you a video of Zim working with my daughter. Yeah, he's good with my kids. Watch. I'll show you what kind of coach he is. Let me go full screen. I would share the screen, but it'd be too hard. This is inside of his gym right here. This is the Crow and the Cub. You can see all the memorabilia. Wait, is this right?
Yeah, that's the right one, brother.
That's the right one.
She'll pop up.
There's my daughter and my son working in his gym. He's good with mitts, man, with the kids too.
look at
Bless you, Tim. You guys
little
are awesome.
Stella.
Yeah,
Hey, she's for real. She's for real. She's raw. She's sharp. She's fearless. That's the thing. So she has that Chacon, the Muzzy blood in her, man. She's ready.
Yeah, look at that.
my daughter's more Mexican. My son's more defensive. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah. Skywalker daughter gonna run the 4-piece off. She gonna charge up like David Benavidez and go Street Fighter style on them.
yeah. No, my
Oh,
kids. Come on, babe. Come here, Sina. You got to add some info about Zim. Come here, because my wife likes the way she works with the kids. Come here. Yeah. Get over here. Get on my lap. Come here.
dang, you go put her on the spot.
You put her on the spot. Hell no.
Get it.
There you go. Say hi to Zim.
Hi, Zim.
Hello, ma'am. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You
It's
guys
tough.
are
It
awesome.
works with Joyce compared to other coaches too.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. I like it. Joyce likes it. My kids, they enjoy it when they go to your house.
He lives
Awesome.
far though, bro.
Yeah,
He lives hella
yes.
far though. He lives on the outskirts of Albuquerque. He lives
Mm-hmm.
northwest of Albuquerque in the outskirts.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Fortress of
I know
Solitude out here.
He's
there's
by
no
another town.
trees. I think Roadrunner every time I think about that area out there.
Oh yeah, you see
Eh,
a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
You can
Roadrunner.
literally stand on my driveway, look north, and see cows.
yeah. He's got roadrunners in his yard. I know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We got coyotes in ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Zim, man. Any special shout out to anybody? Any kind of message for everybody?
Well, my shout outs would be to the Redhead Legal Lady, Sage Badweather, and the Night Shift for all they do with the community and helping out with boxing. Everyone down at Jack, well, just the state of New Mexico and New Mexico fighting. Like, I'm sorry, I'm from here and everything, and I'm proud to be New Mexican and stuff like that. So, everybody it's a big family, it's a close community, so everyone's an inspiration, everyone gives ideas, and everyone's competition at the same time, but we all do it out of love for the game and the sport. So with that being said, it's boxing's changed my life. I didn't have nothing at a point in time, and meeting Joe from a homeless point to now where I have a place to where I actually have a garage that's a gym. It's just mind blowing. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. I just want to be a blessing to others so they can be a blessing to others as well. He was my godfather. I want to shout out to my shout out goes to my Aunt Shirley and my Uncle Richard. Like I said, those are my godparents, even though they're my aunt and uncle.
Nice.
That's awesome. Shoot, hey, I gotta give a little shout out real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, happy anniversary. Wait.
Yeah, bro. Can I
Stop,
look?
stop, 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 stop. I got it. Don't worry.
I
I
got
got
it. This is my damn wife.
No,
Let
no,
me.
no. Hey, I want to wish my good friends, Papi Chuyeyo and Heidi, happy anniversary. Beautiful couple, always going on some beautiful vacations, always good friends. Even when my wife's brother passed away, they sent my wife a nice gift, and kind of a good way to do to send condolences. I tripped out, so
Mm-hmm.
really good partner. Anytime I need his help, he's always there for me. But shout out to Ernest and Heidi, good friends of mine.
Yep. Hey, babe. That's a shout out.
Happiest blessed anniversary to you guys, Poppy Tune.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jake Valencia, man. One of the true OGs of the gym, man. He pointed me in the right direction of finding Joe because he was training a pro at his time named Joe Brady. So he didn't like give me the shaft, but he pointed me the right direction. He's a very good athlete and man, so I just want to give him a shout out. He was an inspiration.
Nice. And shout out to Xavier too. I know that's your favorite. He's
Always.
tuned in. Shout out to X. Had a great fight last time. Shout out to Zimmy, your daughter. You know what I'm saying? The whole Zim family.
All the writers from Rick Wright to Ed Nunez at 89.9 The Beat.
Albuquerque Journal. Yeah.
Yes, Gary Heron with the Rio Rancho Observer. Just, you guys are amazing. Like I said, I'm beside myself right now. It feels like I'm not even here because of all the kind words that have been said. But just to keep it going and to have a dream and to never give up on your dream and to believe in yourself is real.
Yeah. Well, hey, and this is in memory of Joe Louis Murphy. I want you guys to research who he is, look him up. An amazing, amazing person. They don't make people like that nowadays. You know what I mean? Very, very rare. And hey, my kids want to say hi.
Hi, Zim. Hi, Zim.
They like Coach.
Hello. You guys are looking really good out there. I've been watching you guys train. Keep it up.
Yeah, tell me you were training today, huh? You put in some work today? Tell them.
Yeah.
You ran today?
Rolando! What's up,
Orlando.
brother?
Yeah.
It's my wife's nephew right there, Orlando. He trained with Zim too, my wife's nephew.
What is that?
Oh my goodness. No, he
Yeah.
didn't. I know who that is.
Oh, you gotta pop out the yeah,
There's the bucket.
yeah.
Well, he's coming for y'all soon. Stay tuned.
Yeah, but hey, shout out to all the great followers I have. Demetrius Bright, my brother, much love. Vera, he said happy anniversary. How many years? Gray Fox, appreciate you, my brother. She's training hard. Veronica, we're gonna check out your books. Much love to everybody that tuned in, tapped in. Jesus, Trey Titan, Vince, Just Do. Thank you guys. And until next time, everybody. Much love. Peace. Love one another. Peace.
Thank you. God bless.
Yes, sir.
Peace.